Hello guys and welcome back to a new episode of Shooting the Dolomites. Now, I'm not sure why it took me so long to do this episode, but well, today we are in one of the most iconic and spectacular locations of the Dolomites, the Tre Cime di Lavaredo. Now, there's a lot to be said about this location, so if you want to know more about, the best time of the year, the best time of the day, how to reach the locations, and of course the various compositions, there are several perspectives. Well, you know what to do. Just keep watching the video. First thing first, how to reach the Tre Cime. Now, in order to arrive to the Hut, which is kind of the starting point from where you'll reach all the photographic viewpoints around the area, you'll have to drive along a pavement road, okay? The last 4 kilometers are a toll road and you'll have to pay 30 euros to get in, and it's per day. So it renews at midnight, meaning if you stick around from sunset till sunrise, you'll have to pay 60 euros just to park your car up here. Otherwise, of course, you can hike, but it's going to take you a couple of hours more to just arrive at the hut, at the starting point. So it's completely up to you, but it's expensive. I know it's very expensive, so be sure to plan ahead your trip and make sure that the weather is nice, because you don't want to drive up here, waste your money, and just to find out that the weather is bad and you don't get any of the shot you wanted. This piece of road is only open during the high season, meaning from late June till let's say early November, depending on the first snowfall of the season. During the low season, from winter and early spring, you'll be able to hike up here, but of course it's going to be way more demanding and strenuous, as there probably going to be snow all along the road. So make sure to bring your snowshoes. That's pretty much how you reach the Tre Cime. Alright, here we are at my favorite location around the Tre Cime. This area is filled with possible compositions, okay? And to arrive here, it will take you a 40 minutes hike, okay? And you'll have to take the trail the opposite way from pretty much everyone, okay? So instead of going counterclockwise, you'll have to go clockwise. So from the Hut, you'll go left instead of going right. And after 40 minutes, you'll arrive here, and it's literally filled with composition. You'll have the reflections in the lake, you'll have a small stream that you can shoot from different angles, you'll have wildflowers during the wildflower season. Just be sure to bring a very, very wide lens, because otherwise you won't be able to include the peaks. Right now I'm at 14, and as you can see, I'm struggling to include everything. So just be sure, and probably you'll have to do panos anyway. I'm sure that most of you, when you'll hear me talking about Tre Cime, will have this view in their mind. And well, of course, this is the most classic and most iconic perspective of this place, and it's really beautiful. To reach this area, you'll have to follow the direction for the Locatelli Hut, or Tre Cime in German. And it will take you 1 hour 30, 1 hour 45 minutes, depending on your pace, from the parking lot to reach this mountain hut. Now, composition wise, you can play with wildflowers if that's the right season, or just rocks. You'll have a few caves from where you can frame these peaks, and of course the classic view of the hut. Okay, if you walk slightly above the hut, you'll be able to shoot the hut itself with the mountains in the background. So plenty of perspective to shoot here, and well, best time of the day I would say is sunset, when you get the light on the walls, okay? As I'm heading back to the car from the Locatelli Hut, our next shooting location starts to reveal itself. The three peaks lined up from the Forcella, which is basically in Italian a way to say pass. Okay, so to shoot the classic view of the three peaks lined up, I'm still on the trail, but you should hike from the pass all the way up to where the mountain is starting. Okay, it's going to be up, I think, 10 minutes walk from the pass, and from up there you'll get this beautiful leading line with all the peaks, and it's going to be really, really pretty. Now, time of the day to be there, definitely sunset, because you'll get the sun star exactly on the right of the peaks. Okay, that's something that can happen till, I would say, November. That's generally, October is like the limit, because then the sun will start moving in that direction and it won't set anymore, and you won't get the light on the walls anymore during winter. One more thing that I forgot to tell you about this Forcella shot, this Forcella perspective, is that you can also shoot the Catini di Misurina from up there. Okay, so you'll get the shot of the leading line with the lined up peaks and the shot with the Cadini. Both you can shoot just the mountains, or you can also include that small hut down there. Okay, so you really have plenty of perspectives from up there. One of the viewpoints where you probably can get more perspective, and you probably could/should spend at least one sunset and one sunrise, is this one, where you get this beautiful view over the Catini di Misurina on one side, and on the opposite side you get another beautiful perspective on the Tre Cime. Not the more classic one, but still an incredibly nice one. And now, to arrive to this point, you don't go to the round trip, so you don't follow the classic trip around the Tre Cime. Instead, from the Auronzo Hut, which is the starting point of the round trip too, you take the path that goes all across those green meadows that you see in front of the hut. And eventually, after 30-40 minutes, it's a very, very easy hike. You'll eventually arrive along this ridge, okay, and from where you can get all sorts of viewpoints on both sides, and you really have tons of composition to shoot. Now, about the time of the year, now I would recommend autumn, not because of the foliage. Here there's no foliage at all, but because of the light. The light will hit this side of the Tre Cime at sunset and at sunrise, okay, so you'll get a much better light during the golden hour, okay, rather than summer. And about the time of the day, I think that either sunrise and sunset here, they offer great perspectives, okay? You'll get side light in both cases, so there's really not that big of a difference. As long as you came here during the golden hour and you get some nice perspectives, nice clouds too, you're going to get away with some beautiful shots. When you should come to the Tre Cime? Overall, to me, there's only one answer, and it's summer. That's when you get the wildflowers, the greens in all the meadows. So overall, probably that's the season I would recommend. And well, autumn is an option too, but there are so many other places that you can shoot in autumn where you can actually see the foliage, and that's pretty much the beauty of coming here during the fall season. So if you've never been around the Dolomites, then you should definitely pay a visit even during the fall season. Otherwise, I would definitely recommend summer. So in the end, despite the fact that the Tre Cime are definitely one of the most expensive locations of the Dolomites, and I really don't like the fact that you have to pay 30 bucks just to get in and spend a few hours maybe there, that's something that boggles my mind. It's really expensive. Despite that fact, it's an amazing location. Seeing these three peaks rising out of nowhere basically, it's just fantastic. So I highly recommend you to visit this place. And well, technically you can spend days in the area just shooting around. As I showed you, those are just, you know, the most famous locations, but there are plenty around. So just spend a lot of time there because it's going to be worth it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time. Bye guys.